Hello and welcome to Lothlorien Online Top 10 Most Favorite Regions as voted by you, the people. We had 251 votes casted over a period of 3 days, much better than what I was honestly expecting. So without any more delay, let's get this underway. I'm sure many of you are keen to see the results. So coming in at number 10 was Enedwaith. It was given 10 votes, and I'm not surprised that it was in the top 10. It truly is a beautiful region. It's jam-packed, it has swamps, it has foothills, it has barrows, it has valleys, it has farmland, all packed into one small region. And there is truly something for everyone in Enedwaith. You cannot come to Enedwaith, I feel, and be disappointed by the look, because it looks, so different on one side of the map than it does on the other side of the map. And other regions do this as well, but I feel that Enedwaith probably does this the best. Coming in at number 9, we have Breeland, which received 11 votes. It's probably one of the most nostalgic regions in the game, as a lot of players would have made their first character here. Most of the map is dominated by wilderness, which keeps true to the law of Eriador, but then in the centre of the map you have a major population hub with the town of Bree, along with satellite villages such as Staddle, Archet, Coombe. You also have iconic places such as the Barrow Downs, the Old Forest, the Midgewater Marshes, and there's plenty to do across the entire map. There's tons of quests, tons of characters. It really does feel alive, and one thing that it has over a lot of other regions is there's still tons of players. You can still find hundreds of players in Bree. It truly is an amazing region, simply because it's lasted so long without really doing anything special. Coming in at number 8, we have the most evil region in the game, Angmar, with 11 votes, the exact same as Bree. Basically yin and yang there. Um, Angmar, well, it truly is an evil place. I went into Angmar expecting there to be snow everywhere, like a frozen wasteland. It was a wasteland, just not the frozen type of one. It's very barren. I don't know how anything can actually survive there. Uh, yeah, everything in Angmar wants to kill you. Like everything from turtles to worms. There's giant spiders everywhere. There's orcs and trolls and giants and all these other weird things. They all just want to kill you, and it's uh, as a first time visitor to Angmar, you generally don't want to come back again, but the region just draws you in because it is truly so evil, and because of that, I'm still not surprised that people voted for it. I really was expecting Angmar to be in the top 10 because it is still the most evil region in the game, and I don't think anything can really top the evilness of Khan Dum and Yurigarth, and it's quite the hell. And at number 7 we have Forochel, the frozen region of the north. It is one of the two snowy regions in the game, and it received 18 votes, a big jump from the previous region of Angmar, which only had 11. Forochel brings a lot of new stuff into the game. It is the only region in the game that features the aurora in the sky, due to its how far north it is, and it is actually the only region in the game until the release of Western Gondor where you could technically see the ocean. Said ocean wasn't really fun to swim in as the ice killed you due to how cold it is. Uh, Forochel is an absolutely massive region, huge in scope, huge in scale. So the quest hubs are extremely far apart. So on the first visit, players can often, they find themselves riding long distances, which may turn some away from the region. But aesthetically, the region is extremely beautiful, and the quests themselves really actually aren't that bad. Um, I feel once you truly fully explore Forochel, you kind of always look forward to coming back when you are leveling a new character, and it definitely did deserve a spot in the top 10. And we're at number 6, and if you can't tell what number 6 is, then you probably haven't played the new update. What we're looking at here is Dol Amroth. Dol Amroth is probably the coolest looking city in the game, and it is located in Western Gondor. Yes, Western Gondor is number 6, and it received 18 votes, the same amount as Forochel. And considering the region's only been out for a few weeks, I'd say that's pretty freaking impressive. So basically, Western Gondor kind of breaks up the monotony of Rohan's landscape. It's separated from Rohan with Paths of the Dead, which are pretty freaking cool also. Um, so yeah, it's got its own kind of Gondorian landscape, which we'll probably see more of in the future, as well as like it's very densely settled. There's villages and towns everywhere, and there's these massive cities. Dol Amroth isn't the only city. There's Callambel and Morlad. They're both city sized as well. Uh, Basically, it's just a really cool looking region. The feedback so far, from what I've seen of the community, has been pretty positive, and it seems like people are enjoying the map and the quests. So say this is definitely deserving of being in the top 10. Uh, it's a big hit by Turbine. And halfway through the countdown at number 5 we have Mirkwood with 20 votes. So I'm really surprised that this region actually made it into the top 10. You could say it's one of the two evil regions in the game, the other one being Angmar, which I'm not surprised it made it into the top 10. Mirkwood, however, is different. There's not so much variety in landscape, really. Most of the map is basically just covered in forest, and yeah, there are some other small sub-regions. There's forests, the whole map is covered in forest, that was stupid. There's little valleys, which you get lost in real easily. There's swamps, and there are, barren, flat wastelands. But most of the map generally looks the same. It has the same theme, it has the same feel the whole way through. However, Mirkwood does do pretty well in the quest department. The quests are good, even though in some places you get lost quite a bit. The quests do direct you from hub to hub, which makes questing in Mirkwood relatively fine. It's a solid 60 to 65 region, really. And it does include one of the coolest looking fortresses in the game, Dol Guldur. So, whilst I am surprised that Mirkwood did make it into the top 10, it definitely isn't a bad region, and I can see why some people actually do really like it. At number 4, we have Lothlorien with 23 votes. Now, this isn't surprising at all. Lothlorien, without a doubt, is probably the most beautiful region in the game, even though most of it looks the same. Like, look at the colour of those trees. They are truly amazing. And also, Lothlorien is probably the easiest questing region in the game, probably along with the Shire. You can gain levels without ever having to kill anything. You can basically just sit around and do manual tasks for a bunch of elves who are too lazy to do it themselves. Possibly the only dangerous thing about those quests is you could probably fall to your death. I know I had that happen to me a lot. But other than that, Lothlorien is probably the most relaxed region in the game, especially straight after you've come from Moria, which is a really full-on region. Lothlorien is a good way to calm it down. So, once again, I'm not surprised that this region made it into the top 10, and I'm not surprised it's so high up the top 10 list. And coming into our top 3, at number 3 we have Moria with 28 votes. Now Moria, the place where I'm at currently, it's the 21st Hall. The 21st Hall used to be the biggest hub in the game for multiple years, and now looking around, it's nearly completely empty, which is kind of sad to say the least. Moria is a revolutionary region for LOTRO. Basically, it introduced one region for an expansion, which was then split into multiple smaller regions, which all looked completely different from each other. You could go into the waterworks, the flaming depths, the foundations of stone, and then you could go through the dwarven halls, and you could go to the top of the mountain itself. If you were looking for diversity in a region, Moria is the go-to region. Whilst personally I didn't like the quests, I feel that the fact that you're in Moria itself, and that Turbine did such a good job of it, in terms of look, it kind of makes up for the fact that, in my opinion, the quests suck. Though some of the quests are pretty cool. In one of the session plays you could do, you actually get to see the Balrog, and on top of the mountain, you can actually see the corpse of the Balrog. Also has places from the movie, Barland's Tomb, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, and then outside you just got the Dimril Dale. So it really is, for anyone who's seen the movie or read the books, which probably is most people, I think Turbine truly did bring it to life, and it definitely did deserve its spot at number 3. With 38 votes, the Shire fell just short of the number 1 spot, which I honestly thought it was going to take quite easily. But obviously, the Shire is not the most favourite region among LOTRO fans. Nevertheless, the Shire did get number 2 spot, and by quite a large margin, and that isn't surprising at all. The Shire definitely is probably the most peaceful region in the game. It's probably the most relaxing region in the game. Even though it has its fair share of small problems, it's still, like, if you go to other regions and you still have the bad shit going on, you can always go back to the Shire and be like, well, you know what, everything's okay, because it's still okay here. Even though the region, it isn't the most, like, spectacular aesthetically, it's just a really nice place. It's a really nice place to quest in. It's a really nice place to look at. It's it's probably the most uneven looking place in the entire game. And above all else, it has rainbows. No other place in the game has rainbows, as far as I know. And finally, the number one most loved region in LOTRO is here. And can you guess it just by looking at this patch of grass? Well, you probably can't, because grass is everywhere. But here it is, it's Evendim, number one region in the game, according to 251 people. One of those people being me. And just because I voted for Evendim and just because I hosted the poll does not mean I corrupted the results. I was legitimately surprised that Evendim won. Evendim had 42 votes, 4 more than the Shire. So a clear victory there. Not by that much, but you know, an easy win. And well, I have to say, I completely 100% agree. Evendim used to be a bit of one of those mid-zone regions which not many people did, or they didn't have to do. A revamp to Evendim quickly changed that, with the quests being made a lot more awesome. A whole new bartering system, boat travel between all the different places along this lake. The region used to be called Everswim because you had to swim long distances. They changed Anuminas from level 50 to level 40, so basically made a whole new region of the game accessible. They did a really good job with the revamp, and it's basically made it so you could go from 30 to 40, so now Evendim is clearly the dominant region in the middle zone there, and hopefully it'll stay that way. Aesthetically, it's a pretty good region as well, with all these Numenorian ruins. And Anuminas is a really cool looking city, kind of similar to Dol Amroth, really. But there you have it, number one. Your number one region is Evendim, and thank you for watching this video. The commentary, I feel, could be much better, and there are many places which I would have loved to have done, and there are many places which I would have loved to have filmed, but you voted for those 10, so I filmed in those 10, and maybe in the future I might do another one of these videos. Until then, thank you and goodbye.